Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. I've talked about in several different videos how the father is the protector of the family. You don't, when somebody breaks into a house, you don't hide behind the wife. You hide behind the man, or he goes and jumps into the fray of danger. Men are physically bigger and stronger than women, so we can fight off somebody, an attacker, with our bare hands better than a woman can. So we're built different. We have different roles. We have roles that are both very important, but if the family's not safe and there's not a man there to keep and protect the children, then obviously the mother's inferior on that. So, and if people aren't safe, then what's the point of love and provision, all this other stuff? The number one important, like if you look at California's family code or any other family code 3010, I think it is, huge priority of the courts is to protect the child's safety and well-being. 3020A, protect the child from domestic violence or harm or danger. So if it's the number one priority to keep children safe, all the other stuff, having their favorite cereal, being involved in piano lessons, all that other stuff doesn't matter and pales in comparison to whether the kids are safe. If they're in danger, the love and affection and ability of a parent to provide doesn't matter. And so if fathers are the better protectors by far, then why don't we automatically get custody? It's backwards. But that's one of many arguments to bring up in court. I'm going to tell if I'm going to court, I'm going to tell the court, look, especially with the science I know now that I didn't know back then early on in my custody battle, and I still won. And a lot of you guys still aren't using this information that I tell you guys. I tell people, why don't you go to court and argue this and argue that? And then they lose in court. I said, did you argue this or that and say these words? Well, no. Why not? There's something wrong with my gender. I tell you what worked for me and what worked for other people, what people specifically said in court that worked. And you don't say that because you're scared or you're too dumb or it was a really hot day and you don't give a shit enough about your kid to actually write stuff down and memorize it and prepare. Oh, and then I had a flat tire and I was really traumatized by it. You're going to court on a day of your court hearing to rescue your kids from a narcissistic parent and you're not ready for it. You don't have any excuses. If you come up with a bunch of excuses why you weren't ready on your day in court, or you didn't show up in court, or you forgot, or whatever, then you're a biatch. You don't deserve your kids. So stop crying about it because you don't have the balls to get ready for a hearing and prepare for it. But here's a point that proves that children are safer with men. Just a man's mere presence brings safety, because men recognize and respect a threat and avoid confrontation a lot of times because there's a threat. Women are so crazy nowadays, they feel entitled to slap a dude in public, and some of them F around and find out, but a lot of them get away with it because men are simps, and we just let them act crazy, and they're empowered by all these single, independent, strong mothers who say slap a man and it's okay, but they can't slap you back or whatever. But when it comes to the family, men bring safety. We are superior in protecting children, and the number one most important thing to a child is whether they're safe or not. So if that's the number one priority, we should make it the number one priority to make sure the father's around all the time or in the home or give him custody or a significant portion of time with the kids. But then even if it's 50-50, the child's in the home with the mother. She could date a guy who's a pedophile or sex offender. I swear 90% of these molesters are the new boyfriend or the stepdad. Well, let's take a look at an interview with a pedophile that the news did. There's a couple others out there like this. I haven't looked into depth. But look what he says about, I talked about this. I just want to show this for you guys so you have it in your arsenal. Okay, so I guess this is WRTV Indianapolis. Convicted child predator Jack Reynolds describes how he groomed young boys before molesting them. So let's take a look at this and see what he says.
Social interaction with other kids. You know, when we were on the ballparks or on the gym floor, you know, I would make sure which ones I wanted to molest. I would give them special attention. Congratulate them.
Okay, that was him talking about grooming. But so watch this question from the news reporter. They're trying to get in his mind in order to figure out how we protect children in the future.
were there certain characteristics that you looked for in children before molesting them?
In children, yes, but more I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child.
Bam! Right there. If the father is there and the father can harm this guy, or he's bigger and badder and tougher than this guy, then he wouldn't even approach them.
If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him. If I thought the child had friends that were in the same capacity he was, I would approach him. For the simple fact that if I could molest him, I could lure him into believing, grooming him into believing that he would enjoy it. And therefore, I could manipulate him into having his other friends come and be molested by me as well.
So perhaps a child that doesn't really have a whole lot of friends, maybe not really a strong family, things like that.
Yes, no spiritual values, weak in education, needs help in many ways.
So doesn't have, not church going, not God fearing, maybe has a learning disability or impoverished. Whole bunch of stuff going like that going on in single mother homes. And if there's no man around, oh, she's a target easy.
Even from split parenting, has a mother who may be having problems with the family, well, here comes superhero in to help out,
Well, hot damn, look at what I just said. I haven't even watched this video yet. I remember the first beginning about a strong male presence. But look at that. A broken family, and then he's approaching the mother. What'd I just say? I swear 90% of these molesters are, there's a stepdad or the new boyfriend that the crazy mom allows in. We'll push the good dad out, but we'll allow a knucklehead in.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much. No problem. You ever need me to take him away for the night so you can have a night out? No problem.
Look at that.
It works.
And do you see how goofy and weird looking that dude is? The average man would think he's a pedophile right from the jump. That kind of stuff makes it all the more pathetic when a dad doesn't fight for his kids and he bows down to the mother, and the mother's the king of the family and he's the queen. If somebody, I can kind of get it if you're convinced over and over, an attorney says you're not going to get that, you're not going to get custody. Actually, I can't really get it. Why can't you follow your conscience? Why can't you say no to an attorney? Why can't you tell an attorney, well, you're $400 an hour. You're telling me, well, it's hard for a dad to get custody. How many times have you tried? Well, I never tried. Well, I want you to try. Well, I tried before and lost. Well, I want you to try. I'm going down swinging like a real man does. Who in a heavyweight fight? I mean, think about your favorite MMA fighter or heavyweight boxer, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, whoever. Which one of them says, oh, I'm starting to lose, let me just throw in the towel? Or the odds maker says I can't win, let me take a dive. Who does that? Not a real man. The safest place for children is with the father. Why would you not want to fight for your kids to be safe? The only explanation is you're a PAB, a punk, gluteus maximus, female dog. Let's grow some balls and go and protect our kids. And let's go tell them that children are susceptible and exponentially more likely to be molested or preyed upon or groomed or targeted in a single mother home. Let's turn this stuff upside down and have every dad out there go for full custody. But see, that'll probably never happen because people aren't going to reshare this, and people are not going to share this to their... See, this stuff could go viral if you wanted it to. I've had a couple videos where I was being nice and professional, and they got a lot of views, but almost all the comments are whining, crying, pissing, and moaning like a little PAB. And I've been seeing it for 25 years, and it's not changing. And some of you guys think you're the Martin Luther King of Father's Rights Movement. Oh, we're going to undo this, and we're going to overthrow the government, and we're going to You ain't doing jack squat if you can't get custody of your kid right now. Let's go case by case, and let's all go into court and go for full custody.